Hello and welcome back to the Healing with Homeopathy Substack and the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. Today, I want to have another conversation about astrology and homeopathy and how to, use that to support your people. And if this is interesting to you and you want to learn more about astrology and homeopathy, please let me know. As I'm learning, I like to share knowledge, and I'm probably going to start putting more of that knowledge up for my paid subscribers on my Substack channel. So I know I did one video about astrology. I've done several about tissue salts and things like that, but I know I did one on astrology and homeopathy, talking about modalities in astrology, which is cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And now I'm going to talk about the elements in astrology and how we can kind of use that for homeopathy as well, or help understand ourselves a little bit better. I find astrology extremely validating, I would say. So yeah, this might be my last video. Maybe I'll do one more on my YouTube channel here for astrology, but probably going to be moving that over to talk more clinically for homeopathy and if you're interested in astrology and homeopathy and that connection there more. But because I'm so into it right now. I'm learning from an amazing teacher. Her name is Liz Norman, and she's really been supportive. So, the four elements in astrology, all right, is what we're going to talk about, and their connection to homeopathy. Um, Elements, why do they matter? First of all, like, why should we even care about knowing what elements are dominant in somebody's chart? Like, why would that even be a thing? And I'm going to share my chart at some point today to help you get some better understanding of this. But astrology and homeopathy view through patterns of energy and expression. Like both of these modalities, we're viewing health through patterns of energy and expression. So in astrology, the four elements air, well, let's go in order. Fire, earth, air, and water describe how energy moves through a person's mind, body, and emotions. So if it describes how the energy moves through a person, this is pretty important, right? So homeopathic remedies also carry energetic qualities that mirror these elemental patterns, right? Understanding elements can help us understand temperament, stress response, disease tendencies, healing pathways. Think of them as energetic languages that show how a person experiences life and imbalances, right? So let's talk about a fire person, about a person who has a lot of fire in the chart. And we're going to go over my chart and I'll explain some things about it that might help you understand. But fire signs, they are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. These are fire signs. So if you're born in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in your sun sign, that's important, but also in your moon, because you want to think about, I learned from Liz Norman, you want to think about your big three. You want to think about your sun, your moon, and your rising or ascending sign. That means the same thing. Guys, I didn't know that when I first started learning about astrology, but rising and ascending is the same thing. But you want to think about that. Are any of those three signs in um, fire, right? Or whatever. Do I have these three signs, right? These are all on fire. But do I have any of these in my chart? Like, so that's what you're looking for. Like, what are my three main, my sun, my moon, and my ascending or rising in? And then you would look at that. I'll explain that when I go to my chart. But the three fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So if you have this in your sun, your moon, or your ascending, or if you see like a lot of planets in any of these signs, you're going to have some fire in your chart, you know? And the themes here are passion, action, courage, intensity, leadership. Like they are big leaders. They are like dynamic, energetic, creative vitality, right? They are ambition, big ego. They like music typically. There's anger, there's fire. It's a fire element, right? Like we'll talk about that too, I guess. So all of that, they like just dancing, they can be dictatorial, there can be egotism, there can be impulsivity, very impulsive people. Yeah, music, desire, mania, passion, playful. So when balanced, a fire sign is motivated, warm, expressive, and inspired. When imbalanced, there's burnout, there's inflammation, there's irritability, there's impulsivity, and there's adrenal depletion. Fire signs burn through energy very quickly. They're fire, they're heat. Okay, they burn through energy very quickly. In fact, the fire signs are actually the most vital when we're looking at the charts, the most vital signs, homeopathically. And homeopathically, fire signs, especially cardinal fire, which would be Aries, they're going to burn through energy very quickly. Fixed fire, which is Leo, they might need repeated nudges. And mutable fire, which is Sagittarius, they might need like more wait and watch and see how it goes with their remedy prescribing. Physical tendencies for fire signs, again, it's heat, it's inflammation. So fevers, strong acutes, acute inflammation, headaches, heat and circulatory stress, nervous system overstimulation. We're going to think about that. So some remedies you might think of right away are like your belladonna, like this sudden inflammation and acute fire states, right? When they have acutes, they might go to a belladonna state. Maybe it's sulfur because there's heat intensity, excuse me, right? Might be nux vomica, like driven, overworked, and fired energy. All right. You're going to think of your remedy, like that's a burnout remedy, nux vomica, right? Nux vomica burns out. Fire types often need support with regulation, grounding, and recovery after intensity. Okay. Um, yeah, fire signs. I just want to look one more thing in one of my books about them. Apis. Apis is another good remedy for fire signs. Lots of heat in Apis. Um, Caliphos is the tissue salt for Aries. That's really good for burnout as well. So you want to think of Caliphos. Um, this is interesting. Okay, we won't go back into this too much. Um, just seeing what else I want to share with you guys. Okay, we'll stop there. I don't want to give too much, too much. Well, we'll make this video too long if I keep going. Okay, now we're going to go into the earth signs, okay? So some of the earth signs are going to represent more like stability, structure, groundedness in the physical body, right? They're more grounded. And these signs are going to be your Capricorn, which is cardinal earth, your Taurus, which is fixed earth, and then your Virgo, which is mutable earth. Okay. And the themes of earth are endurance, responsibility. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, and I did not realize how much it affects me, but apparently it does. We're going to look at my chart soon. Material reality and physical resilience. Okay. So when earth signs are balanced, they're grounded, they're dependable, they're organized, they have strong constitutions. When they're imbalanced, especially we see the rigidity in the Virgo, right? They can have this rigidity, there's stagnation, there's weight gain, there's mineral depletion, there's chronic structural issues. In fact, earth signs I learned in my course they do really well with tissue salts, right? They need that stability and that groundedness from tissue salts. It's so interesting to me. When in balance, they can also, so they have mineral depletion when in balance, chronic structural issues also. Physical tendencies can be slow metabolism, stiff joints, digestive sluggishness. Virgo, particularly, has a lot of digestive issues, I learned as well. And homeopathically, they might need bowel nosodes to support them. We'll have another conversation about bowel nosodes another day. Um, there is just so much to teach, and I love teaching stuff. Okay. Um, so you want to think of your tissue salts for sure to help support them. There could be slow metabolism, joint stiffness, digestive sluggishness, and mineral imbalances, like I said. Okay, so Earth people can struggle with ailments from business failure. They can be very busy people. Um, they can be cautious. They can be relative duty. They can be industrious. Their occupation can help them feel better. There can be memory weakness, they can be very duty-bound and responsible, fear of disease. They can be perfectionistic. Sounds like a lot of Virgo traits, possibly. So yeah, very interesting. Let me just see what else to tell you. They're grounded, practical, realistic, and that's for sure is true. Let me just see. Yeah, so some remedies that come to mind are calcarea carbonica, which structure, security, and endurance, right? You're going to think of silica, weakness of structure with inner strength. Okay. That's a very good one as well. Graphite, slow metabolism, skin and endocrine stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Burrito Carbonica is another good one. Developmental or structural delay patterns. Um, yeah, let's see. Virgo. I want to look at Virgo really quickly. So Virgo is probably going to have more anxiety, OCD, and control. So maybe arsenicum, perfectionism, carcinosin, worry for others, causticum, things like that. And then the other one is Capricorn. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, as well as a lot of Scorpio. So you're gonna think of Aurum, um, maybe Calicarbonicum, Causticum, Nux vomica as well. Caliphos is the tissue salt for that, which helps support the bones. So those are all really good ones for earth signs. Don't run out and just take these remedies based off a YouTube channel video. Like you need to certainly speak with a homeopath. Okay. Okay. So the next one we're going to talk about is air. And air is the mind, the nerves, communication, and sensitivity. So astrology signs here are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I have two air signs in my big three, as Liz Norman would call it, my astrology teacher. So my moon is in Aquarius and my ascending is in Aquarius is my moon is in Aquarius, which is an air, and my ascending is in Libra, which is an air. So the themes here are thinking, connection, ideas, and nervous system activity. So when balanced, they are curious, communicative, perceptive, and adaptable. I am extremely communicative. It's almost like it's learning and speaking is medicine to me. Like teaching other people things is medicine to me. Like taking classes is medicine to me. And I need to share it. Like I have this strong desire to bring knowledge in, but then also extreme desire to share it with others. So that really fits. When imbalanced, anxiety, overthinking, insomnia, nervous exhaustion, and disassociation from the body. I have experienced all of these. Overthinking I still something sometimes I struggle with. I'm actually taking a flower essence to help me with that called red chestnut because I overthink about anxiety and care for others. That's red chestnut. If I was overthinking about just anything, it's more like white chestnut. I used to have chronic debilitating insomnia until I worked on my health. Nervous system exhaustion is definitely something that I've dealt with, and certainly disassociation from the body also, because I lived with chronic pain for so long that disassociating just was like what I should do, right? Because who wants to feel pain? Physical tendencies, nervous tension, breath issues, insomnia, sensitivity, like sensory sensitivity. So air is about thinking, communication, social interactions also, and thoughts. Um, I just want to see if there's anything else I want to share with you about air. Air is about they can do brooding, like they can overthink things. I think maybe excuse me, sorry, like Natmer kind of remedies. Yeah, they can have anxiety that's worse at night, mental, yeah. They can have what else? Loquacity. I have loquacity. Um, suicidal dispositions. They were very intellectual. They can be indifferent. They can be absorbed. Um, they can be closed. Hmm. Interesting. So interesting. Okay. So other remedies to consider, we're going to think of coffea, which is a good one. Hypersensitivity to the nervous system. That's a really good one. I mentioned the Bach flower, red chestnut, white chestnut. I'm taking red chestnut. Let's see what other ones I want to tell you. Just bear with me while I'm putting all my notes together. Well, Libra, I feel like I have so much Libra energy. It's just my ascending sign, but I feel that the Libra desires a lot of harmony, puts others first, perfectionism, like carcinosin, you want to think of Staphysaria, suppressed anger, hormonal affinity. There's a connection between, I think, Libra and Venus. I am still learning a lot of things about astrology, but I think there is. They like to keep the peace. Magmar is another one that likes to keep the peace. Carcinosin, yeah, pulsatilla is another one. Lack of identity, carcinosin. And then Aquarius. I didn't do Aquarius. Aquarius. Oh yeah, full of ideas. Sulfur. I've taken sulfur. A lot of these remedies I've taken. Sulfur, carcinosin, I've taken. Never taken coffea before. Argentum nitricum, that's an interesting one too for this kind of air signs as well. Nat Mur is emotionally closed. It's the tissue salt for Aquarius. Lac Mermades. Yeah, we won't go into too much more on that, but yeah, you could think of those ones. Caliphos for sure for nervous system dysplasia. Argentum nitricum for anticipatory anxiety, mental speed. Yeah, and Coffea. Yeah, so the air types benefit from grounding, embodiment, and nervous system regulation. Water. Water is our fourth one, and water represents, or water is the emotion, the depth, the memory, and the sensitivity. So astrology signs here are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I am a Scorpio. I am a water. I am fixed water. Cancer is cardinal water. Scorpio is fixed water, and Pisces is mutable water. So I'm a fixed water. So I'm a fixed emotionally. Um, isn't that lovely? No, it's all good. It's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of positives to all these things as well. So themes are there's a lot of feeling. I have this, I almost have to feel my feelings. Like, I like peace and harmony, which is very Libra, and I want everything to be in peace and harmony. And I feel off in my body when like the people in my people are not in peace and harmony. But I also have to feel my feelings. Like if I don't let my feelings out, it's like it's a lot for me. Like I need to let them out. I will have physical things if I don't let my feelings out. They're very intuitive. I feel that's very true for me. I've always been very intuitive. Even in my darkest hours, I've been intuitive. So I've really felt into that before. They really like strong bonding and connection, and they do a lot of there's a lot of emotional depth and processing. So when balanced, they're very compassionate, very intuitive, very nurturing, and emotionally connected. I feel all of that, like as a Scorpio, like in water, like a water person. I feel that. When in balance, I felt this all before too, emotionally overwhelmed, withdrawn. When I'm really, really imbalanced, I can withdraw. There can be fluid retention when I'm really imbalanced, immune system sensitivities, especially in a Scorpio, because the pathology can be very fixed in because it's fixed water, so it's fixed toxins actually, Scorpio. So I've definitely struggled with this. And then boundary struggles, yes, absolutely. I have struggled with that. Pulsatilla Pulsatilla is like that remedy for me, like for enmeshment, like when you're too enmeshed, like if your partner is not okay, you're not okay. Carcinosin too as well helps put up boundaries. Those are other remedies to think of. Physical tendencies, lymphatic stagnation, hormonal fluctuations. Definitely had that before. Digestive sensitivity and immune reactivity. All of this makes sense. So a couple of remedies I've already mentioned before, but pulsatilla, emotional sensitivity is good for water signs. They're emotionally sensitive. There's fluid shifting. Sepia, emotional depletion, hormonal exhaustion. Ignatia, acute shock and grief, but it could be chronic as well. So often water people need boundaries, emotional expression. I need emotional expression. Like it's a need for me and energetic containment. The water signs are actually going to be the most least vital. So the fire signs are the most vital and the water signs are more the least vital. I just want to, sorry if my landline is ringing and you hear it. I have a landline with an actual cord. It rings. Like that. Water people, they can play the victim. They can be clairvoyant. They can be weepy. They can be very sympathetic. They can be secretive. They can be moody, like changeable moods, like pulsatilla. Um, they can be brooding. They think about emotional things over and over again. They can care too much for others. Um, Water people, very highly emotional. Pulsatilla, like I mentioned before. Um, I'm not going to say that one for right now. We'll hold on to that. A Scorpio like me can have fixed water, which means they hold on to toxins. The cell salt for Scorpio is calc salt, which helps toxins get removed. So that's a good one. And then the last one is Pisces. Pisces is, yeah, maybe you might think of phosphorus where there's no boundaries. You might think of walnut as the Bach flower to help protect boundaries. People who just can't, Pulsilla can be the needy victim. People who just can't have no boundaries. I think of Pulsatilla phosphorus, carcinosin. These are the main remedies I think of. Those are the first three that come to mind. Um, okay. So, okay, we're not using astrology to pick remedies, but we can use it to understand constitutional tendencies, identity, stress patterns, see element imbalances, and recognize healing themes. So, homeopathy meets the person in their individual expression, not just their zodiac sign, of course, right? We're not going to just be like, oh, you're this zodiac, so you get this remedy. Never. Okay. So someone with strong like fire and air may present with anxiety and inflammation, driven nervous systems, insomnia from mental activity. Someone with earth and water may hold emotional stress in the body, have slower metabolisms, chronic long-standing conditions. This is what it helps us guide us, helps us understand the person's terrain. And I find it very, very validating for me to understand it. So I want to share my chart with you guys because I love learning and sharing things with people. So I just have to find it. Where would that be? Actually, hold on. Let me put this here, go to here. Okay, now there's my chart. All right, now share chart. Share. Now you see my chart. Okay, so this is me, and I want to just draw your attention down here, okay, to this little chart down here. We have cardinal, fixed, and mutable, right? And then we have fire, earth, air, and water. So you can see I'm a dominant water, right? And I'm dominantly fixed water, right? We can see I have more signs in water. So my earth, my Mercury, and this is my Saturn are all in fixed water, and my Pluto is all in fixed water. You can see all of these signs are conjunct. They're all talking to each other. They're all playing a part together. Okay. So we can see all that. So you know here that I'm going to be super emotional. I'm probably going to hold on to emotional hurt, and hold on to toxins. So I'm fixed emotionally. So that's pretty important, right? I don't have a ton of fire. I learned in my chart from my teacher that outer planets affect us less. So my only mutable sign is my Venus, really, and my Venus is fire mutable. So that I feel like I have a lot of Venus imbalances though. So I this I would look at in my chart to see where it's at. Where's Venus in my chart? Venus is in Capricorn. I have a lot of signs in no, that's not Venus. Sorry. That is, where is Venus? Sorry, guys. Venus is in Sag. That makes sense. Okay. Actually, for me. Okay, sorry. I'm just thinking out loud. That Sagittarius is like very tubercular energy, and I feel that with Venus for me. Okay, so you can see that that's that. You can also, so I have a lot of water, so fixed water. I have fixed water mostly. So my emotions can be fixed, hard to move past. I don't really hold on to grudges. Usually you would see that in fixed water. Um, I hold on to hurt, but not grudges so much. And or I'll remember that hurt, but I don't want to like I'm not vindictive like a lachesis. Like this could be a lachesis or a nitric acid kind of I don't do either one of those. Um, but I definitely hold on to toxicity. I literally have had chronic infections my entire life that I've, been working on. And of course, they're 90% better, but sometimes 95% better, but they're still here, right? And I'm still working on it. And that's because it's very hard for my vital force, my sun, it wants to hold on to all of that. And here's my moon, which is in fixed air, right? And then my ascending is in cardinal air. So that's my Libra, and this is my Aquarius. So I can have strong emotional things here that are fixed as well. So we've got a lot of emotional fixed things going on here. And I can burn through my energy very quickly with adrenals as well. So very interesting. So I just wanted to show your chart. So if you put out your chart, you can look and see like where do I see the dominant energy in, right? I mean, I have some Earth, not much. I mean, the only one really that really is important is my Mars. Um, Here, that's the only one that's really important. So yeah, I'm mostly water and air. So I'm going to stop sharing and I just want to go back to this other chart I had here. So I'm mostly water and air. So yeah, it's interesting. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this like stuff interesting. I find it so fascinating and so validating. And I meant to say about all the Capricorn I have really shows my responsibility. And there's also where my Mars place shows a lot of responsibility as well, which is very true for me. So I'm curious, like which element dominates your chart, if you know, and how does that show up for you physically, mentally, emotionally? Like what symptoms feel fiery, heavy, restless, fluid? Like where do you see this? And like where might your system be asking for more balance than control? So do you see this in your terrain? Do you see this? Um, so please let me know what you're seeing and let me know if you found this interesting. If you want me to teach more things about this, if you want to learn more about astrology and homeopathy, I'll probably move that to my paid subscribers on my Healing Families, Healing with a Homeopathy Substack. Because when I'm learning something, it's almost like I must communicate it back to more people. That is a strong, it's like a need for me. Like when I learn something new, I'm like, oh, I got to teach other people this. I don't know. This like community and learning thing is so strong for me. And I know that's indicated in my chart as well. And it's healing and nourishing for me. And that's why I do it. But I also do it because I feel like we should be sharing knowledge and we should be empowering ourselves and we should know this information. So yeah, if you want me to, you want to work with me, you're more than welcome to. You can book in a session with me. I can read your natal chart. By the time this video comes out, my training in astrology will be complete. And I'm sure I'll be continuing to educate myself on my own because that's just who I am. I'm always reading. There's 10 books next to my nightstand. I'm reading all 10. I'm always reading and listening to podcasts and learning. Learning is medicine for me, and it's indicated in my chart. So, yeah, let me know your questions, comments, concerns. Please tell me some things in the chat below. I'd love to hear it. Um, if you want to book in a session, I will look at your astrology chart in my initial homeopathic sessions as well, if you desire. If you have no interest, which I'm not sure why you listen to this video if you do don't have interest, but if you do have interest, I will look into that if you want me to as well, and it'll help guide me a little bit towards certain remedies or things like that that can be supportive. Okay, I hope that was super helpful. Questions, comments, concerns, I'm here for them. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day.